At 86, Dolores Hart finally speaks the truth about Elvis Presley. Dolores Hart was born Dolores Hicks on October 20th, 1938 in Chicago, Illinois, to a family that encouraged her to be creative and hold strong morals. Hart's childhood was guided by her Catholic faith and the tight-knit love of her family, giving her a sense of discipline, empathy, and wanting to do meaningful work in life. She studied at Mundelein College in Chicago, a women's liberal arts college, where she not only developed her academic abilities but also developed her artistic interests, paving the way for her career as an actress. Hart's movie career, while comparatively short, was meteoric. She entered into a contract with the most respected studio of the era, Paramount Pictures, and soon gained fame for her poise, charm, and compelling performances. She co-starred with many of Hollywood's largest stars, including Elvis Presley, with whom she also had a strong on-screen rapport in movies like Loving You, 1957, and King Creole, 1958. These roles not only showcased her acting skills, but also established her as a new star in American film. Critics admired her for her honesty and warmth in her performance, and fans were attracted by her elegant screen presence and natural charm. In 1960, Dolores Hart became a popular figure of general notice when she appeared in the teen romantic comedy hit Where the Boys Are, a film that captured the early 1960s cultural zeitgeist inasmuch as the film expressed the anxieties, appetites, and loose-limbed enthusiasm of a generation poised on the brink of social upheaval. Hart's performance in the movie revealed her authentic charm and on-screen presence, blending a mix of sophistication and vulnerability that connected with both critics and audience and solidified her place among Hollywood's new young stars, in addition to proving she could handle both comedic timing and dramatic nuance, skills that would typify her short but impactful acting career. Throughout this time, Hart's growing popularity also brought attention to her amazing beauty, poise, and elegance, features which suited her well for assignments that called for innocence coupled with depth. Riding on the success of these roles, Hart agreed to take on the demanding part of St. Clair of Assisi in the 1961 religious biopic film Francis of Assisi. This assignment was a departure from the light-hearted fare of Where the Boys Are, permitting Hart to introduce a more serious, spiritually complex character. Her playing of St. Clair involved not only the presentation of profound faith and piety, but also the expression of inner strength and moral courage, qualities that Hart introduced with sensitivity and intensity. In working on Francis of Assisi, Hart's artistic side was also given expression outside the acting realm. She famously drew a sketch of a statue of St. Francis, demonstrating her introspective and artistic personality. This sketch, aside from being a personal creative work, showed Hart's serious engagement with the spiritual and philosophical ideals of the film, indicating an introspective quality that far transcended her Hollywood image. It was also around this period that Hart's artistic taste and personal introspection increasingly became a part of her professional decisions, presaging her final career choice to abandon movie-making for a life of religious commitment. After this, Hart continued to prove how versatile an actress she was by acting in the title role of Lisa in The Inspector, a dramatic film adaptation of Yanda Hardo's novel. The Golden Globe-nominated film for Best Picture Drama provided Hart with the opportunity to play a character with a rich emotional life, grappling with love, morality, and strength. Lisa's role demanded a level of depth in performance that Hart provided with stunning subtlety, earning her critical acclaim as well as cementing her place as an actress who could perform both romantic and profoundly dramatic work. Her performance in The Inspector emphasized her dedication to character work that delved into human complexity and emotional depth instead of depending on glamour or star power. In 1963, Hart played Kathy Maywood on the hit TV Western The Virginia during the episode named The Mountain of the Sun. In this moving tale, Hart portrayed a Catholic missionary whose heroine jeopardized her own life to keep faith both with her religious vows and the mission of her deceased husband to serve a group of impoverished and ill Native Americans buffeted by the turmoil of frontier existence. This was a particularly important role for Hart, since it provided the actress with the opportunity to combine her performing with a depiction of unselfish moral bravery and divine devotion, themes that reflected her own growing inner experience. Her work showed incredible emotional depth, portraying the interplay between personal risk and steadfast conviction, as well as the profound empathy to serve the needy. Interestingly, this stint on the Virginia marked Hart's last released acting work, broadcast on April 17, 1963, only a month after appearing in the film Come Fly With Me with Hugh O'Brian. This last phase of her on-screen career marked not just her artistic maturity, but also a quietly deepening turn toward a spirituality-centered life, marking the end of her Hollywood chapter and the start of her remarkable calling as a Roman Catholic nun. In spite of the flash and promise of a successful Hollywood life, Hart made the extraordinary and life-changing choice that would make her legacy one in a very unique sense. In the prime of her career, she sensed a strong spiritual calling and abandoned the movies to become a Benedictine nun. She joined the Abbey of Regina Lauis in Bethlehem, Connecticut, in 1963, living a life of prayer, service, and contemplation. This shift from Hollywood to the cloistered walls of a monastery was widely seen as astounding and inspiring because it demonstrated an uncommon bravery to pursue one's inner beliefs rather than fame and success in the world. Her choice touched a chord for many, demonstrating the strength of individual conviction and pursuit of greater purpose. In 2001, Dolores Hart made a great achievement in her spiritual life when she was appointed prioress of the Abbey of Regina Lauis, a very important rank in the Benedictine monastic order. The appointment was just after the election of Mother David Serna as the second abbeys of Regina Lauis, which created a new era of leadership and continuity for the abbey. As prioress, Hart bore a serious responsibility, managing the day-to-day work of the monastery, directing the spiritual development of the community, and assisting in upholding the abbey's ancient traditions of contemplative prayer, liturgical worship, and artistic production. Her service as earlier priors, which she served with dedication and humility up to 2015, demonstrated her capacity to harmonize spiritual authority with pastoral care and manifesting the values of benediction, obedience, and stewardship. Under her guidance, the Abbey remained a thriving religious house, but also as a cultural and artistic hub where the sisters made their contributions to music, theater, and the arts, a result of Hart's own early life being spent in the world of film and performance. On October 4, 2008, Hart was invited to speak about her amazing life at a public gathering, Breakfast with Mother Dolores Hart, hosted by the Holy Trinity Apostolate, a group established by the noted theologian Reverend John Hardin, S.J. The gathering took place at the upscale Royal Park Hotel in Rochester, Michigan, and featured lay people, clergy, and fans of Hart's life and career. In her talk entitled, "He Led Me Out into an Open Space, He Saved Me Because He Loved Me," Mother Dolores Hart's journey to Regina Lauis Hart provided a close and deeply personal look at the extraordinary spiritual experiences that compelled her to abandon a successful Hollywood career and commit her life fully to God. As a tribute to her remarkable life, Dolores Hart has been honored in books, films, and interviews that chart her transition from Hollywood screen idol to dedicated nun. One such book is the documentary film God is the Bigger Elvis, 2011, which documents her double life in Hollywood and the monastery, winning an Academy Award nomination and sharing her inspiring tale with a new generation. Hart's life remains a strong witness to bravery, spirituality, and the search for authenticity, inspiring countless people to consider their own journeys and priorities. Throughout the years, Hart also made sporadic appearances in the public eye, speaking about her experiences through interviews, lectures, and her own book, The Ear of the Heart, where she openly described her Hollywood days, her entry into monastic life, and her continued faith walk. Her introspections show a woman of uncommon fortitude, self-awareness, and profound insight into human nature, commanding admiration and respect from both religious and secular societies. At 86, Dolores Hart finally spoke in depth about her unusual and complex relationship with Elvis Presley, providing insight long the stuff of rumor and speculation. Famous for her unique blend of Hollywood starlet and subsequent religious observance, Hart lived always a life that was nearly two distinct lives amalgamated. A Hollywood star at the hub of 1960s popular culture and a dedicated nun devoted to a cloistered existence in the Abbey of Regina Lawis in Connecticut. Year after year, interest in her relationship to Elvis, widely regarded as America's most famous son of music, has endured, partially due to the fact that their short-lived love affair took place during the height of both their careers. In interviews, documentaries, and a new memoir released recently, Hart has seized a moment to finally dispel the subtleties surrounding their relationship, laying bare secrets that were previously undisclosed. "I never wanted to talk about it lightly," she stated, her tone serene but charged with the gravity of decades of contemplation. "Elvis and I had been close at one point, and everyone always wished to simplify that closeness into a story of Hollywood romance. But it was much more than that. It was a strong friendship, mutual respect, and a bond that touched both our hearts in ways that the public could never truly grasp." Dolores Hart initially met Elvis Presley in 1956 when she was 18 and had already started making a successful career in Hollywood. Elvis, at the height of his explosive ascension to stardom, was renowned for his charming